I'm back and today I'm going to review the Laneige Snow BB Soothing Cushion. And it has an SPF of 50 and a PA of plus. And it comes in a compact form like this, but it's actually a liquid. This is the lid and it snaps so that way there will be no spillage. And you have a cover, which is your sponge, and it's actually a liquid. And there you go, that's what it looks like. And it comes in 3 shades, and this one is MB21, their lightest shade. The third shade, and that's the coverage, so it covers the green vein almost completely. And the shimmer is luminous. There you go. And I'll show pictures of myself with and without flash. It's not that reflective considering it has an SPF of 50 and a PA of plus. And it comes with a sponge. That's what it looks like. And the sponge is very fine. So it's like a rubber tip sponges that you get from eyeshadows, for eyeshadows. And it's very fine, so when you apply the product it's really just a smooth and flat surface almost, with a little absorbency so that it can be spread. And I've been using this now since I got it. This is my 3rd day or 4th day, and I haven't really broken out considering it does have a high SPF. And it has its scent. It's the regular scent of all Laneige face products, so it smells like the BB cream, it smells like the foundation, and it's actually part of their snow line, snow BB line. So in the line you have the BB cream, you have this soothing BB cushion, and then you have their BB balm. And this particular snow BB cushion arrived in Manila this month, and I got an email, so I was immediately curious because it's a liquid but in a pack. So this contains about 15 grams of the liquid product. However, if you purchase this, one purchase of this entitles you to a refill. So the box that this comes in with has a refill, comes in a sachet, and it's also 15 grams. So it's this mechanism that you take out and then you just refill it with a product, and you also get a spare like this. And it's very easy to use. It's great for travel because some people have to have liquid foundation, and this is a great alternative rather than bringing liquids. As you know, there are liquids that you're not allowed to bring, especially on carry-ons. So the less liquids in bottles that you carry, the better. And this sponge is really great to spread the product. It's very smooth the way it spreads the product, and it's not cakey, and it has really good coverage. And I mentioned that there are 3 shades of this. I got the one in NB21 natural beige, so it's still a little darker than my neck, which is fine. That way it still looks natural and I don't look like I have a mask on. And the 3rd shade, the sales lady said that it's okay for Filipina skin, which is slightly darker. And this thing is blendable and it sets on your skin quite quickly, so it turns into your natural skin shade. So maybe that's why I think it's a little darker than my neck. So it has an SPF of 50 and a PA of plus. However, it's not reflective when I take photos of it, and which I'll show you pictures of. And I haven't broken out, considering I break out easily when it comes to very high SPF. So I no longer apply a BB cream under it. So this is the foundation, this is the primer in one, and I don't even need to set it. However, I still end up setting it because it's just my practice, because I also put uh, concealer under my eye and concealer on my scars. So I end up setting the entire face because of the concealer on top of this. However, the coverage is very good. It covers my pores very, very well. So it looks airbrushed, and I have almost poreless skin when I apply this on. And the effect lasts about 10 to 12 hours. It's not like Revlon Color Stay wherein it lasts 12 to 16 hours. However, it's possible that I just didn't set it though properly, so it could last all day, because the sales lady said that it's very long lasting. And in fairness, it's really quite sticky, and it's very similar to the formula and consistency of the Revlon Color Stay. And it's very, very difficult to remove as well. I have to use my oil-based cleanser, this one, and I even use my lip and eye makeup remover either on my entire face and on the Laneige sponge, because if you can see, when you press down into the product, the foundation or the product seeps out of the sponge, and it ends up creeping into the white part of this. So this is very difficult to remove, but it's not really difficult to remove it from here. However, it is here. So I end up using my makeup remover, my oil-based makeup remover on here, and I get globules of the foundation when I rinse it. So apart from that, the oil control is so-so. It's moderate. I get oily about in the middle of the day, and so I just blot off with this. I don't need to retouch. Retouching is not required, but you can apply your face powder if you want. That's optional. And the coverage is medium to buildable. It's almost heavy, and it doesn't transfer on clothes or on phones. So even if my phone gets hot and I put it next to my face, you don't see the transferring liquid into the screen of your phone, and it doesn't transfer on my clothes or here, this part, even though it's get wet. The stuff that I see on here is mostly just this, the powder, but it doesn't make the rim of my glasses oily with the foundation. So this is actually a very good product, and for the price, it better be. This is 1,950. However, you did buy two products because it comes with its own refill, and it does last all day, and it takes a very little amount to apply on your entire face. I'm going to post along with this video on how I applied it. I applied it in two ways. I use this and I use the brush. So at least you'll have two options on how to apply it. You can also use your blending brush or your beauty blender or your foundation brush or or your hands. That's good too. However, it's actually better to use your hands because it's more emollient. It's just, it might be a little streaky. I really like this. I'm a big fan of this, even though it's hard to launder. So that's my review for this really good foundation, really good for travel, and it has a very high SPF. So there's two things you don't need to bring: your liquid foundation and your face sunscreen. So I really like this product, especially for travel. It's just difficult to remove, and they taught me how to apply it, and hopefully I don't mess it up. and show you how I I should be doing it. So I press into the product, and you should have a product like that. So that's the liquid dispensing into the product. So it's not the best or most hygienic item that they have. I much prefer a tube dispensation or a bottle with a pump, but they're trying to be innovative. So you apply that, and the sponge is a rubber kind of sponge, so it reaches within the creases. So ideally, that's how you spread the product while it's still wet on your for sponge. Travel purposes wherein you're not allowed to bring liquids and tubes, this is a good way of circumventing that. So it's still a liquid, and you can push down with your fingertips, which I do not recommend. So what you do is just push down with the sponge so that the liquid will go into the sponge or the applicator, and then there you see the product, and you just press in, similar to pressing in your beauty blender, and there's the finish. This is shade NB21, their lightest shade. They have three, one for someone like myself who's very fair on the NC20, verging on NC15, and see, compared to having absolutely no foundation here, the coverage is actually medium to buildable coverage of this foundation. BB smooth cushion, and the finish is on the dewy side, almost pearly satin finish. So that's one way of applying the product using this. If you're not into sponges like this, although this is a very nice sponge, it gives good coverage. It's just that you have to keep on dipping into the product. So this is the face. This has no concealer yet. So this is the face without any concealer with this product, and this is without any foundation, no concealer whatsoever. The sales lady said that you are not required to set the foundation anymore, and it should last all day, and it's appropriate for our climate, which is tropical. This is a goat hair brush, and this is 18 Goat from Shu Uemura. For this side of my face, I will use this brush. This is a Shu Uemura 18 Goat brush. So I bought this because to me it's such a unique item for a foundation brush to be goat hair, to be animal hair, and it's dyed and it still smells. So you can dip your brush like this, regardless if it's synthetic or goat, and you will see that eventually you will have product. See, this has no product, and at this side I dipped into here, and now it has product. Now it's a kind of liquid that isn't too watery, otherwise it will spill through the sponge. And then you can pat that in. The trainer at Shu Uemura prefer everyone to apply their foundation on their cheeks first, because that's where you can layer on the foundation the heaviest, and then the thinner the skin you have around your face, such as your nose and your forehead, the thinner you layer on your foundation. So under my eyes, I'd have a thin layer of this foundation and a thick layer on my cheek here. This dries rather quickly on either the brush and on the skin, so you have to work fast. This actually reminds me of the Revlon Color Stay on how fast it dries on my skin. But the coverage is nearly the same, but the coverage for the Revlon Color Stay is a little heavier. So if you layer on that product, you'd end up looking like you have a mask on if you're not careful. Whereas this one, I've been layering and layering, and it still looks natural, especially under normal lights. So this is just how you do it. You just pat that in and smooth it out. It's not streaky at all. It's actually very soft. The effect is very soft. Yet you have your coverage, which is the discovery of Shu Uemura before he passed. So this brush is actually not a very new brush. It's one of his new discoveries before he passed on, as I'm told. Okay, so that's how you apply this product, either with the sponge that comes with it, or if you prefer a foundation brush like this or like this, similar, just pat that in there. Because if you apply like this, you'll get streaks, so you just have to pat that in and then work rather quickly because it dries quickly. For areas wherein you need more coverage, just apply more product. And then for areas wherein you absolutely need to cover stuff, then you can get their concealer. And that's my foundation routine, my current foundation routine. They said that I don't have to cover, or I don't have to set that, but I would still prefer to set that with my Revlon Color Stay Aqua, because it's part of my foundation routine and a demonstration on two things, this one and this one. If you have any further questions, just post them down below and hopefully I can get to them as soon as I can. Have yourself a great day. Bye now.